Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hannahcast Movie Awards, or should I say, the first annual Hannahcast Movie Awards. I do have some explanations to give. You're probably wondering, this was supposed to come out a week ago, Christian. What the fuck? I'm like, sorry. Like, because I kind of realized I had a bunch of things going on. Mainly my Oscar predictions video, and like there was also, it was a hassle. But overall, I think we do have our winners. And if you don't know how the Hannahcast Movie Awards work, here's how it works. Basically, I pick most of the winners again, just to really just it's kind of like my version of the Oscars. Who would I nominate? Who would I have win? But however, I do leave it up to you to vote for who wins best film of so and so year. And this year, the award is best film of 2021. So there is that. I probably then again, will I talk about the Oscars? I don't know. All I will say is, what the fuck, Will Smith? Like, Jesus Christ, you didn't need to do that. But really, I don't really know what else I can really say about it that really needs to be said. Because I'm going to be talking about most of, the winners and whatnot here, so, what have you. But, regardless, I guess we might as well just, move on ahead with this thing. The first category is Best Original Song, and your nominees are Comedy from Bo Burnham Inside, Guns Go Bang from The Harder They Fall, No Time to Die from No Time to Die, We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto, and Welcome to the Internet from Bo Burnham Inside. And the winner is Welcome to the Internet from Bo Burnham Inside. Now you're probably wondering, Kristen, is this even really a movie? I mean, look, 2021 and 2020 were weird years, so whatever. But this one, out of all of them, I thought, kind of stuck with me the most. I mean, don't get me wrong, all the other songs are phenomenal, but I don't know, this one is especially relevant nowadays. I mean, especially since I think this was filmed in like 2020, not even 2021, and well, if you know what happened early 2021, you'll see how crazy shit really got. And this one, this song is just hilarious. It's poignant. And so yeah, honestly, maybe I could make this bigger. Yeah, you know what? I'll just have it bigger right here. So yeah, but yeah, that's what this song is. But it's also really catchy. It kind of escalates and escalates, and it's just even just some like the really funny sound effects used. But yeah, I fell in love with this song, and I still love it today. The nominees for Best Original Score are Bell, Taisi Iwasaki, Ludwig Forssell, Yuta Bando, and Miho Sakai. Dune, Hans Zimmer. The French Dispatch, Alexandre Desplat. The Harder They Fall, James Samuel. And Spencer, Johnny Greenwood. And the winner for Best Original Score is Dune, Hans Zimmer. I mean, obviously. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. All the other nominees here are great, and I especially think the musical score in Belle was very much underrated. Hell, Belle didn't even make the Best Original Score Oscar shortlist. But Hans, I could literally just picture this world of the world of Arrakis and Dune just from listening to the score. And this, I would easily say, is like some of Hans Zimmer's best work. I mean, hell, he literally won the Oscar for it. I mean, he literally won his first Oscar since The Lion King. And it really makes me wonder what he's going to pull off for Dune Part 2. Although, granted, a lot of what makes the Dune score great was invented for this film. So, we'll see how Dune Part 2 does. But regardless, I mean, again, just wow. The different kinds of instruments being used, the vocalizations, all of it was just phenomenal. This really is fantastic. And of course, you go to the other original score nominees. Belle had a phenomenal score. The French Dispatch was kind of wacky, but it's kind of what you expect from a Wes Anderson film. Spencer was also a great score because um I thought Spencer also had a great score because I could literally, sort of like how I could imagine the world while listening to the Dune score. I could literally picture what was going on in the score in the movie Spencer just by listening to the score, and it's phenomenally well done. And of course, I think The Harder They Fall definitely has some very epic music. I mean, especially when you listen to the track "The Harder They Fall" choir. That was amazing. But overall, I would pick Dune for this. The nominees for Best Sound Mixing are Dune, Last Night in Soho, No Time to Die, Spider-Man No Way Home, and West Side Story. And my pick for Best Sound Mixing is Dune. Now if you're wondering what sound mixing is, and I'm sorry if I always go on about this every time I talk about sound editing and sound mixing, but who knows that this might be their first video. But if you don't know what sound mixing is, I'll explain what sound editing here in a bit. Sound mixing is pretty much like, well, it sounds just the way it is, like the mixing of all the different kinds of sounds in the movie, whether how do you mix the dialogue with the sound effects, with the music, and any uses of silence, all that being done. I feel like Dune did that the best. Like everything was just coming together so well and so smoothly to create this incredible world. All the other nominees did a great job with sound editing. I mean, with sound mixing as well. I mean, like where is like the sound mixing. Obviously, with West Side Story, you're gonna have some great sound mixing because it's a musical, and if you're a movie musical, if you can't have good sound mixing, that's like, what are you even doing with your life? And even with Spider-Man No Way Home, I thought that movie had some great sound mixing. Again, the way it would mix in new sounds with sounds that were familiar to us and certain musical cues that would pop up. All of it just came together so well. And but again, out of all of them, I think Dune had the best of that. Now we get to Best Sound Editing, and the nominees are Belfast, Dune, Last Night in Soho, No Time to Die, and Spider-Man No Way Home. And the winner for Best Sound Editing is No Time to Die. Now, you're probably wondering, wait, No Time to Die? But you just chose Dune for Best Sound Mixing. Yeah, but however, keep in mind, this is not the same as sound mixing. Sound editing, unlike sound mixing, this is just purely about like the creation of the sounds, like the sound effects. And I mean, action movies like No Time to Die are pretty tough to beat. Although, granted, between sound mixing and sound editing, it's like No Time to Die and like Dune were like this close for both categories. But I think I remember the sounds and like the gunshots, the cars going off, the bombs going off in No Time to Die a little bit more. And the motorcycle chases definitely, and the car chases, just everything about the sound editing in No Time to Die was just phenomenal. Um, and and let's talk about some of the other nominees for sound editing. Belfast, that opening in Belfast was fantastic. Um, Last Night in Soho had such chaotic sound mixing and sound editing, but it was done in such a great way. And again, Spider-Man No Way Home had some great sound effects created as well. But overall, out of all the movies of for sound editing, I really like No Time to Die sticks out to me a lot more. So there is that. And, if I'm not mistaken, this is where we get to the next category, which is my favorite category, Best Visual Effects. And we are going to be... and unlike some of the other categories, this one I actually have a full video for. So, yeah, here are your nominees for Best Visual Effects. Dune. Free Guy. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Spider-Man No Way Home. The Suicide Squad. And yeah, oops, looks like I guess the video reset itself. But yeah. Oop. So yeah, those were your nominees for Best Visual Effects. And the winner for Best Visual Effects is... Dune. I mean, don't get me wrong. All of these movies did an incredible job with visual effects. Some more underrated than others. Like, I thought, the Suicide Squad had some of the most photoreal visual effects of the year. Ghostbusters Afterlife, same as that. The way they brought back certain characters in Ghostbusters Afterlife, I thought was incredible. That smoke monster that you saw, when I first saw that, I was like, oh my god, this is like the best smoke I've ever seen in a movie, like CGI. Especially because you don't even realize it, because it's mostly creeping under the door at first, so you're just like, okay, it's smoke. But then it's like, oh wait, it's CGI? What the hell? Of course, Free Guy with the dude character, like putting Ryan Reynolds' face on a bodybuilder. That was incredible as well. And of course, Spider-Man No Way Home, considering the fact that almost every shot in that movie had some kind of CGI, and a lot of the movie was just filmed on a green screen or a blue screen. And even at times where you don't even notice it at first, and you got all those villains that require such different types of visual effects, and then you get to the Doctor Strange part, which really was probably the main reason why I nominated it, because I mean that's the thing about Doctor Strange, like he has some of those crazy effects you can imagine, but ultimately there was no other winner there was going to be no other film I was going to choose as the winner than Dune. Dune has some of the most advanced visual effects we've seen yet. I mean, everything looks so freaking real. I mean, like the ornithopters, like the sand simulations for the worms, everything looks incredible, and it's so dynamic. It is just insanity. It's insanity. Huh? Get it? Fuck it. But yeah. That's why I chose Dune for Best Visual Effects. So yeah. The next category is, I believe, Best Hair and Makeup. And your nominees are Candyman, Coming to America, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and House of Gucci. And your winner for Best Hair and Makeup is Coming to America. You might be wondering, wow, not Tammy Faye? Don't get me wrong, Tammy Faye and, like, Coming to America were, like, this close, but Jesus Christ, like, there were some parts where, like, I was wondering who was playing who. Like, it's like, I know the makeup characters are usually, like, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, but there were a couple of parts where I was like, wait, who's the one under that makeup? Like, for example, the one at, like, the bottom left, the one with the feathers, I was not sure who was under that makeup. It became kind of a guessing game. I mean, obviously there were some characters that we saw before in the first Coming to America, like what was it? Like the pastor and the old white guy character, but all of it was just super well done. And and the thing is, there's a ton of characters in makeup. Like, there's a ton of them. There's so many. And again, Tammy Faye, The Eyes of Tammy Faye was, like, had some phenomenal makeup as well. But for me, Coming to America takes the cake because of how many incredible makeup transformations there were in just one movie. So, yeah. The nominees for Best Costume Design are Coming to America, Ruth E. Carter, Cruella, Jenny Beavan, Dune, Jacqueline West, and Robert Morgan. House of Gucci, is it Janty Yates, and West Side Story, Paul Tazewell. I have like a thing of the nominees right here. And your winner for Best Costume Design is Cruella, Jenny Beavan. Again, who is going to win this other than Cruella? I mean, I don't even like this movie, but like this makeup. These costumes are phenomenal. They are incredible. It's like this is a movie about a villain who's a fashion designer. It's like you're gonna get some incredible costumes out of this, and thank goodness it won. Even in the Oscars, because this movie deserved it. Again, I didn't like the film overall, but this just goes to show, just because I don't like a movie doesn't mean I can't find great things about it. And this is a movie that had impeccable costume design. Again, it's just incredibly well done. And we get to the next category, which is Best Production Design. The nominees are... Hold on, let me see if I can find that. Where is it? Wait, where is... Oh, sorry. Dune, Patrice Vermette. The French Dispatch, Adam Stockhausen. Nightmare Alley, Tamara Deverell. The Tragedy of Macbeth, Stefan Decant, I don't know how do you pronounce that, sorry. And West Side Story, Adam Stockhausen. And the winner for Best Production Design is Dune, Patrice Vermette. This film, wow. There's so many things that'll go into Dune and how incredible everything looks. And one of those is uh the production design. Like not even just the sets, but also like the design of like the vehicles and whatnot, like the ornithopters. All that goes into production designing, and it's done so well. This production designing does so much to create this world of Dune, the Iraqine, or whatever. All of this like goes into that, and this film definitely had one of the most unique looks to a sci-fi film I think we've seen in recent years. So that's why it gets this honor. The nominees for Best Film Editing are... Where is it? In the Heights, Myron I. Kirstein. The Last Duel, Claire Simpson. Last Night in Soho, Paul Mackless. Tick Tick Boom, Myron I. Kirstein. And Andrew Weisblum. And West Side Story, Michael Kahn and Sarah Brochar. And the winner for Best Film Editing is... In the Heights, Myron I. Kirstein. All the movies on here had phenomenal film editing. I thought The Last Duel definitely had the... The Last Duel I thought had very inspired editing. Last Night in Soho was chaotic but not messy with its editing. And of course, I mean, then you have In the Heights, Tick Tick Boom, and West Side Story. They're musicals, and weirdly enough, all three of them were edited so well. But out of all these, I gotta give it to In the Heights. The way the editing would like jump between different places, but with the music, it's like I just love that kind of creative editing. And sadly, because In the Heights flopped so badly at the box office, Warner Brothers didn't bother putting any kind of any kind of awards campaign behind it. So yeah, but regardless, I thought In the Heights just sung with its editing. I thought it was all just phenomenally done. Then we get to the next category, and that is Best Cinematography. And the nominees are... Belfast, Haris Zambarlaukos. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Dune, Greg Fraser. The French Dispatch, Robert Yeoman. Last Night in Soho, Chung Hoon Chung. And West Side Story, Janusz Kaminski. And your winner for Best Cinematography is... West Side Story, Janusz Kaminski. This film... I mean, don't get me wrong. All the movies here had some phenomenal... Hell, in terms of picking the nominees for Best Cinematography, this is one of the hardest years for me to pick because, yeah, Belfast, Dune, French Dispatch, Last Night in Soho, and West Side Story. That's, like, keep in mind, like, I didn't have enough room for, The Tragedy of Macbeth, or Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. Really, I mean, these 5 movies were done so well. And the reason why I pick West Side Story is because, the camera just moves with grace in this film. It is really impressive. It is just incredible. Hell, West Side Story at one point was like trending on Twitter because of the movie had just come out on Disney Plus, and people were just gushing over like the gym dance sequence where like once you enter the gym, it's like this like 1 minute long tracking shot, and it's like you have all these dancers, the camera is just moving all over the place, and it doesn't feel cluttered at all, and it's just incredible to look. Like the cinematography here is just inspiring. It is done so unbelievably well. Don't get me wrong, Dune, which won the Oscar, had some great cinematography, and it felt gigantic. But for me, I just gotta give it to West Side Story because it was getting in some shots that I didn't think you could pull off. So yeah, that's why West Side Story, Janusz Kaminski takes the cake for best cinematography for me. The next category is best female voiceover or motion capture. And your nominees are Stephanie Beatriz for Encanto, Olivia Colman for The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Abby Jacobson for The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Maria Cecilia Botero and Olga Merides for Encanto, and Kaho Nakamura for Belle. And your winner for Best Female Voiceover or Motion Capture is Kaho Nakamura for Belle. Now, this might be a shock to you because, like, wait, her? Like, because, like, she's not the most flashy name on this list. But man, like, when I saw this in the theater, I was really stunned by her performance. And keep in mind, I am going for, like, I did watch the Japanese, language version of this film when I saw it in theaters. Um, and like they did have like English subtitles, but and okay, here's the weird thing for me about dubs versus subs. Like, which do you choose? Like, for the most part, I'll go for subs because it's not even just it's like and this and I'm that and I'm mainly talking about just any foreign language film or show or something like that. I'll usually go for subs because, I don't like it when the mouth movements don't match what the characters are saying. That becomes distracting, so I'll just choose the subs. Anime is one of those exceptions, though, because, the mouth movements are literally just... And it's, like, so easy to dub over that. But regardless, I still saw the Japanese language version of this film, and, again, I thought what Kaho Nakamura brought to the table in her performance, I really do feel like outshined everyone else in this nominee list. Now, granted, again, Olivia Colman was hilarious in The Mitchells vs. the Machines as the villainous phone. Abby Jacobson was a pure joy in The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and same thing with Stephanie Beatriz in Encanto. And both Maria Cecilia Botero and Olga Merides brought such emotional weight to Abuela in Encanto. But I don't know. I feel like there was like out of all the performance here, out of all the performers here, for some reason, I feel like Nakamura in Belle stood out more than all the others for me. So there you go. Now we get to the category of Best Male Voiceover or Motion Capture, and the nominees are Juan DeMarcos Gonzalez in Vivo, Tom Hardy for Venom Let There Be Carnage, John Leguizamo for Encanto, Danny McBride for The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Mike Rianda for The Mitchells vs. the Machines. And my pick for Best Male Voiceover or Motion Capture is Juan DeMarcos Gonzalez in Vivo. Again, not the biggest name on this list, but there was just such a pure sincerity to his performance, I feel. He's not in the movie long, but he's sort of like Mahershala Ali in Moonlight. There's not a lot of him in the movie, but when he does, he really is the emotional center point. Almost to the point where I feel like the movie kind of blew its load too early with this guy in the beginning. Which, granted, luckily the movie doesn't miss a beat afterwards. But his scenes I thought were some of the best in the entire film, and it's like, again, it's just that pure sincerity, that emotional weight to his performance. I really did appreciate what he did for Vivo, and I just yeah. I don't really know what else to say about his performance. It was phenomenal, and again, don't get me wrong, everyone else was also pitch perfect in this film. Let me look. Tom Hardy was hilarious as Venom. John Leguizamo was way more played down in Encanto than I thought he would be, and I'm glad over, because honestly, like, I don't know, I have John Leguizamo's a bit kind of hit or miss for me, because I love him in movies like in movies like John Wick or Kick Ass 2. But then you have the Ice Age movies and that Walking with Dinosaurs travesty that he was in. Which granted, he didn't write that film. He didn't, but I don't know. I haven't really been getting into his voiceover performances, but I did really like what he did with Encanto. He was a little bit more laid back. And both Danny McBride and Mike Rianda delivered hilarious performances in The Mitchells vs. the Machines. But yeah, my pick for these would be Juan de Marcos Gonzalez for Vivo. And now we get to our nominees for Best Animated Film. Then the nominees are Belle, Encanto, Flea, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Vivo. And the winner that I'm picking for Best Animated Film, even though if you see the other categories, it's really not a surprise at all, my pick is The Mitchells vs. the Machines. I mean, I already nominated this movie for original screenplay, director, and best film of 2021, so if it got nominated there, then it kind of showed that it was my pick for best animated film. But regardless, what can I say about The Mitchells vs. the Machines that hasn't been said already? It is hilarious. It is energized. It's very heartfelt. Definitely what you would expect from a Phil Lord and Christopher Miller animated project, because they did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, they did the Lego Movie, they did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm not saying they directed all of them, but you could definitely feel their presence in this film. But even then, what Mike Rianda did with The Mitchells vs. the Machines is fantastic. I mean, and hell, he came from Gravity Falls, which I'm not surprised, because Gravity Falls I also feel is one of the best animated shows of the last decade, and so the fact that he was able to repeat that success here is fantastic. Now I'm just waiting for Alex Hirsch to make an animated movie, like one that he specifically wrote and directed. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but obviously, Alex Hirsch knows how to pick great talent, because Mike Rianda, again, is a revelation with this film. So yeah, and I also did like, and I'm not really that upset over Encanto beating The Mitchells vs. the Machines for the Oscars, because I mean, I do get it, but also I will say I feel like there is not a huge divide, like, like the critics and the film industry never agree with each other. It's like, no. But I do notice that The Mitchells vs. the Machines appeals more to critics, whereas Encanto appeals more to people in the film industry. It's just a little thing I noticed. I mean, don't get me wrong, Encanto's great, but I would have picked The Mitchells vs. the Machines over it, so yeah. But hey, yeah. Then we get to Best Ensemble. Best Ensemble Cast. The nominees are Coda, Don't Look Up, Mass, Spider-Man No Way Home, and West Side Story. And my pick for Best Ensemble Cast is just going Mass. Read Birney, is it Birney or Barney or Byarney? I don't know. Reed Birney, Ann Dowd, Jason Isaacs, and Martha Plimpton. Uh, Again, you might be surprised at this, where it's like, really, this? Again, not the biggest names on this list. I mean, hell, especially with No Way Home, you know, I mean, fuck, I'm just going to say their names, like, like, I mean, yeah, No Way Home definitely has, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and a lot of the other legacy actors like Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx. I mean, all that is done really well, and again, worthy of a nomination. But when I'm picking best ensemble, it's really more. It's a lot of it has to do with like how many of these actors would I actually nominate for like their like an individual like for like one of the acting categories. And Mass definitely had the most out of them. Like this has the best like some of the best performances of the year. All again, even though it is mainly just these three, like I mean these four actors, they all just like they all just gripped me. Because here's the thing, and I'll talk about like, or I'll get to it a little bit later. But Mass, I thought all these actors had phenomenal chemistry with one another, and just again, it was just all just incredible. Like all the actors were just incredible. Next, we get to the category of Best Supporting Female Performance. And the nominees are Jessie Buckley for The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Ann Dowd for Mass, Olga Merides for In the Heights, and Martha Plimpton for Mass. And my pick for Best Supporting Female Performance is Ann Dowd in Mass. Now look, I'm not gonna lie, this was an extremely hard category to pick because, you all, this was really between Ariana DeBose, Ann Dowd, and Martha Plimpton. All of them just, all of them just did incredible performances. But there's something about the way that Ann Dowd played her character in Mass. You always get a sense that she, I don't want... So, a lot of it has to kind of do with spoilers, but all I will say is that you can tell she's hiding something throughout the film. Something that we don't know, but you get the feeling that even she feels like something's a little off, or that she wants to say something but can't. And you just because, and again, I don't really want to give away what's in the film because there's a whole scene dedicated because really you don't know what this movie's about when you go into it, and it's only revealed like quite a while in, and again, I was just her performance just riveted me from start to finish. So yeah, I Ann Dowd in Mass is phenomenal. Next, we have Best Supporting Male Performance. David Alvarez for West Side Story, Mike Faist for West Side Story, Jason Isaacs for Mass, Troy Kotsur for Coda, and Cody McPhee for The Power of the Dog. And my pick for Best Supporting Male Performance is the winner, Jason Isaacs in Mass. Now, this might be an unexpected pick, but again, there's a reason why I picked this for Best Ensemble, because this movie was churning out awards-worthy performances left and right. And it's just, man, again, I can't quite go into specifically why, but the way you can just tell everything he's thinking and trying to keep everything together and trying to keep everything trying to keep himself level-headed, all of it was just incredible. And this is the guy who played I forget the kid's name, but the Slytherin kid's name. Like he was the father, like of the Slytherin kid with the white hair in the Harry Potter franchise. I didn't know he was going to be this good of an actor. I mean, I thought he was pretty good in Harry Potter, but man, again, he's giving a performance I never once expected. And that's the great thing about Mass. Like, it's a very well. Again, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but yeah, this like Jason Isaacs, phenomenal. Yeah. Then we get to Best Lead Female Performance. And the nominees are Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman for The Lost Daughter, Jodie Comer for The Last Duel, Jennifer Hudson for Respect, and Kristen Stewart for Spencer. And the winner for Best Lead Female Performance is Kristen Stewart in Spencer. Excuse me. This category was stacked. It was stacked this year. You would not believe how many great lead female performances that I left out. Like, I left out Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos. I left out, God, who else? Like, I'm trying to remember who else I left out. Oh shoot, yeah, there was one that was definitely on here that I left out for Olivia Colman. Um, who was it? Oh yeah, like Rachel Zegler. Oh god, you would not believe how much it killed me to not nominate Rachel Zegler for best lead actress for best lead female performance. This again, all these nominees are so good, but the reason, and especially Jessica Chastain had to with with the amount of makeup she has to endure, and I think people really underestimate how hard it is for someone to act under makeup because it can be extremely uncomfortable. And like because people will go, they're just giving it to that. They're just giving the Oscar to that actor because they put on a bunch of makeup. It's like no. Here's the thing. Again, it's really, really uncomfortable. I mean, hell, I'm like, I mean, you see me already. I already kind of have like itches and whatnot. Trying to act like give an Oscar-worthy performance while under makeup and having like an itch that you can't scratch because you're under like layers of makeup. And if you scratch it, it's going to screw everything up, and it's just going to take all like I definitely sympathize for actors who have to act under tons of makeup. And Jessica Chastain did that immensely well with The Eyes of Tammy Faye, especially with showing her singing abilities. Like that was incredible. Olivia Colman, I mean, she's Olivia Colman. Like she's quickly becoming like one of the best actresses working today. Jodie Comer in The Last Duel, once again, just like how Warner Brothers didn't give In the Heights any kind of awards campaign because it flopped so badly. Yeah, same exact thing happened to The Last Duel. No nominations because it flopped that horribly. But Jodie Comer, I thought, gave such a vulnerable and like such a vulnerable, daring performance to where when I was watching, I was like, oh my god, like she handled that like a champ. Jennifer Hudson in Respect, I think, was also extremely overlooked this year. She did get the SAG nomination, so I'm glad of that. And I just thought Jennifer Hudson she just fucking slayed as Aretha Franklin. Like, I can't imagine anyone else as Aretha Franklin, which is ironic because Cynthia Erivo played Aretha Franklin in an episode in like a new season of National Geographic's Genius. So it's funny how that all turned out, but ultimately the reason why I gave it to Kristen Stewart is that there's just something like you always, I don't know what it was, something about the way she played everything and the way you know it always looked like she was like trying to put on a facade, a happy face, while in the back of her mind she fucking hates this royal life. Because I mean, that's if you know the story of Princess Diana, well, let's just suffice it to say, things weren't so good for her. But I thought, again, I just thought Kristen Stewart just did an incredible job with this, trying to be, uh, trying to be a princess, trying to be a mom, but everything about she like again, I just don't have many words to describe her performance. She really did grip me. She really did uh, engage me, and I really sympathize with her for that. So yeah, then we get to the nominees for Best Lead Male Performance, and your nominees are Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up, Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom, Adarsh Gaurav for The White Tiger, Will Smith for King Richard. Keep in mind, like. I will also. Yeah. Regardless of what happened, the performance was fantastic. So. And Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. And my winner for Best Lead Male Performance is Denzel Washington for The Tragedy of Macbeth. And before anyone tries to claim anything, no, I actually was my pick. Hell, I think you could probably even see it in my previous videos before the Oscars. Like, Denzel Washington was my pick to win Best Lead Actor over Will Smith. And don't get me wrong, Will Smith was great in King Richard, but man, Denzel Washington gave one of the best performances I've seen in a very long time. Like, very, very long time. Like, the way he, because like I didn't even like The Tragedy of Macbeth, really. I feel like it was so accurate to William Shakespeare's writing to the point to where I couldn't even understand what anyone was saying, because it's just like, uh, everyone's like talking all, and I don't know. But regardless, Denzel Washington really did engage me with his performance. He really did engage me in a way where it's like, um, I don't. Again, it is really hard to describe these performances. But like, other than it just gripped me, it engaged me in an incredible way. Um, he took dialogue that was unintelligible for today's standards, and even though I couldn't really understand what he was saying, I felt what he was saying. Like his power and the way he would like sometimes say things that were say things in a very quiet way, say things in a very big way. I mean, that's just Denzel Washington, and I thought he just did an incredible job with that. Uh, so yeah. And so, hold on. Let me look up something real quick. All right. Yep, there we go. Now we have, yeah. And a new category. A new category. Best performance by non-binary talent. Iris Minas for West Side Story, and Amandla Stenberg for Dear Evan Hansen. And my pick for best performance by non-binary talent is Iris Minas for West Side Story. I thought they were incredible in this film. I thought I thought what Iris brought to this performance. Like, now, in case you don't know, uh, like they play anybody's, but anybody's is a bit different in this version, because like in the original West Side Story, anybody's was like a tomboy, was like a tomboy girl. It's like, yeah, but nowadays, but with this new one, anybody's is now a transgender man, and that makes things that makes things that makes the narrative of this character a little bit different. It makes you see this character in a different light. And anybody's kind of gets treated even worse than he was in than the original Anybody's in West Side Story, and Iris Mines really did show a lot of that emotion and showing a lot of those struggles. But also, anybody's was also kind of funny in the film. Kind of walking around trying to, get trying to dance with a girl at the dance. And it's like, ah, man, like it's both funny and a little bit tragic because he's trying to, again trying to dance with a girl, but nobody wants him. But even then, anybody's isn't completely helpless in this film. Like he will, like you misgender him, and he's gonna beat the shit out of you. Well, it's not even really just misgendering him. It's also like actively trying to what is it like actively trying to insult him or dehumanize him. But again, Iris Mines brought a lot of that toughness, yet also vulnerability to this character, and I really hope we get to. I really hope we get to see a lot more of Iris Mines in the future, and so yeah, that about does it for the acting categories. Now we move on to Best Adapted Screenplay. And your nominees are Candyman, written by Jordan Peele, Win Rosenfeld, and Nia DaCosta. Dune, written by John Spites. Spites? I don't know how you pronounce that. Denis Villeneuve and Eric Roth. The Last Duel, written by Nicole Holofcener, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. Spider-Man No Way Home, written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. And The White Tiger, written by Ramin Bahrani. And my pick for Best Adapted Screenplay is The Last Duel, written by Nicole Holofcener, Ben Affleck, and Matt Damon. The reason why I'm picking The Last Duel here is because, really the narrative that it chooses. Because, what's the basic plot of this movie? The basic plot of this movie is that this one woman, played by Jodie Comer, is married to Matt Damon's character. But one day while Matt Damon is away, Adam Driver's character rapes Jodie Comer's character. And when she tells her husband, played by Matt Damon, he decides to have a duel against Adam Driver's character. A duel to the death to see which one is telling the truth, because according to them, God does not punish those who tell the truth. But here's the crazy thing. This story is told in 3 perspectives. The perspective of Matt Damon's character, the husband, the perspective of Adam Driver, the rapist, and the perspective of the wife, Jodie Comer. And the way this film does that is so incredible. Because I was worried, because I had been warned, from some people, that you see certain events in the film repeated and it starts to get tiring after a while. I don't know if I would say that, because every time they do, repeat some things, it's always a little bit different. Or if it's not a little bit different, the perspective you see it in is so much more different. Granted, I don't know if it's really, it's the basic plot of the movie. And I've already kind of said what happens, but why this whole thing is happening. But when you see Adam Driver raping the wife, played by Jodie Comer, it's bad, it's disturbing, But when you're seeing it from his perspective, like already it's like an inexcusable and what's the word I'm looking for? It's already in like an inhuman thing that he's doing. However, somehow when you get to her perspective, it's so much scary. Like it turns from being disturbing to scary. It turns into it's almost like a horror movie. Because you're seeing this little. I don't know how tall Jodie Comer is, but hearing this dude play by like hearing Adam Driver like his footsteps just echoing through the cat like the house, and he just feels like this unstoppable force, and it's like ugh, oh my god, ugh. It was a nightmare to watch in a pod like in a filmmaking sense. It was horrifying in a I don't know how to describe. I don't even know how I'm trying to describe it, but the storytelling in this movie is just incredible. It is just incredible storytelling. How you can see one perspective, and then later on, the perspective looks a lot different. And there's so many other versions of that I didn't even tell you. And all of it wraps, like, just keeps climbing and climbing. And it's such a satisfying ending of sorts. And it's just the Last Duel is so good, and this movie deserves so much more. You people should have seen it. I should have seen it. Why didn't I see this movie when I was out in theaters? Oh my god. Because this movie was so expensive, and it flopped so badly. But then again, it was like, Spider-Man didn't come out yet, and because like nowadays, like post Spider-Man, movies are doing a lot better now, but. Oh well. But yeah, The Last Duel I think had the best adapted screenplay of the year, in my opinion. Now we get to Best Original Screenplay, and the nominees are Belfast, written by Kenneth Branagh, Judas and the Black Messiah, written by Will Berson and Shaka King, Last Night in Soho, written by Edgar Wright and Christy Wilson Cairns, or Cairns, I don't know how you pronounce that, I'm sorry. Mass, written by Fran Kranz, and The Mitchells vs. the Machines, written by Mike Rianda and Jeff Rowe. And my pick for Best Original Screenplay is Mass, written by Fran Kranz. Once again, there's a lot of Mass love going here tonight, but I really do gotta give it to this film. Man, this like Mass really reminds me of 12 Angry Men in many ways, where it's just one location with a few really fucking amazing actors, and it's just this writing. And that's a huge risk, because I have criticized movies before that feel like they're going nowhere, like Nomadland or Licorice Pizza. But luckily, Mass does feel like it's going somewhere, or at the very least, like the writing is legitimately engaging enough for me to be invested in this whole thing. And again, I won't say what the plot is, because again, the movie kind of reveals that later on, because really, like the first bit of this movie, you're trying to figure out, wait, why is everything being set up like this? Why are these characters about to talk? What are they going to be talking about? And it is revealed later on in the film, and the way it's revealed is just genius. It is classic screenwriting. Again, it's just, this is probably one of the best written films I've seen in a long time. Hell, I'll even say, like I said, between, the original regardless of original screenplays and adapted screenplays, I think Mass is easily the best written film of 2021. The screenplay here is just fantastic, and if you're a screenplay fanatic, I feel like you would really love this film and The Last Duel. So yeah, that's why Mass is my pick for the best original screenplay of the year. We're almost at the latter half of this, while we are in the latter half. Regardless, best director, the nominees are Kenneth Branagh in Belfast, Nia DaCosta for Candyman, Mike Rianda for The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune. And my pick for Best Director is Steven Spielberg for West Side Story. Now, you're probably wondering, man, Steven Spielberg? I mean, like, yes, Steven Spielberg. Like, here, okay, let me talk about some of the other directors first. Kenneth Branagh definitely gave me some Alfonso Cuarón and Roma vibes, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, that's a very good thing. He crafted Belfast so well. Nia DaCosta is certainly a director with an artistic vision, because when you see what she did for Candyman, like, this is some of the most exciting directing I've seen in a while. And this is especially, like, I don't know if Candyman was her debut as a director, but it's definitely her biggest project so far. I mean, she's already getting ready to direct the Marvels. Mike Rianda for the Mitchells vs. the Machines crafted one of the best animated films I've seen in a long time. I mean, granted, we've had so many great animated movies over the course of many years, but he definitely made, in my opinion, one of the best non-Disney animated movies of all time. And he directed that film with such, again, with very with some very quick pace, but yet also some quiet moments. It was just overall what he did was phenomenal. And of course, the snubbed Denis Villeneuve did an incredible job with Dune. Because even though he was snubbed in the Oscars, he was honestly Denis Villeneuve was honestly my second pick. But the reason why Steven Spielberg is my number one pick is because he pretty much, like, he was directing West Side Story in a way where I didn't even know you could direct that nowadays. Or like the way, how do I describe it? Because like the way he has the camera move around, the way he has the shots edited, the way he directs all these huge crowds dancing, and not only that, but like even with fights and whatnot, like all of it is just done so well. And the crazy thing is, this is the first musical he's ever done. He's never done a musical before, and yet he directs it like he's directed 10 of them. It's insane, and as far as I'm concerned, I think he said that he's not directing any more musicals, which, that's sad, because he's done that, like, he directed this film so well, and I want to see him do more musicals, but, damn it, but regardless, I think he has directed one of the best musical films ever. He just did this, like, I'm running out of words to describe how much I loved the way he directed this movie. It is just fantastic. And so, we get to the final award of the evening. That is Best Film of 2021. And so, here are your nominees. Belfast, Candyman, Dune, In the Heights, The Last Duel, Mass, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Spider-Man No Way Home, West Side Story, and The White Tiger. And now keep in mind, this is the category that you guys voted on. You guys voted for your pick for Best Film of 2021. And so, therefore, you guys picked... Let me just... Oop. Oop, hold on. Oop. Ah, sorry. But regardless, yeah. The winner is. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm supposed to go to the graphic here. Oopsies. West Side Story! Woohoo, guys! Woohoo! So yeah, guys, the winner is what for best film of 2021 is West Side Story. At least that you guys voted on. Weirdly not like I will say I didn't vote for best film of 2021. But I will say we only had 5 responses this year, even though like even though I posted a TikTok and it got like and it got like hundreds of views, if not thousands. But yeah, only 5 people voted. Uh, it seems like yeah, 3 people voted for West Side Story. 1 person voted for The White Tiger, and 1 person voted for Spider-Man: No Way Home. So yeah, but hey, I'm not gonna complain about West Side Story winning. My hell, West Side Story was my favorite film of 2021. But yeah, this film I thought was excellent. This is one of the best remakes ever made. In hell, really, this is a remake of a remake because the original West Side Story is pretty much a reimagining of a Romeo and Juliet. So it's like this is a remake, like sort of 2 times over. And I thought, again, I thought West Side Story was just phenomenal. Like the again, like the dance choreography was phenomenal. The cinematography was incredible. The way the story was retold was incredible. The acting all across the board was phenomenal. This is just an incredible film. This is an amazing movie, and you guys apparently agreed. All 5, or at least 3 of you, agreed. Uh, so yeah. So yeah, guys, those have been your winners and nominees for the first annual Hannahcast Movie Awards. I was going to have this play around for you guys as a little recap, but yeah, guys, thank you so much for voting. Or actually, no, for the best film of 2021. Oh yeah, I just realized this thing is like 4 minutes long, so I don't know if I can keep going for 4 minutes or whatever. But yeah, you know what? Screw it. But yeah, guys, those have been your picks for. Those were my picks for what I would nominate, and you guys picked what you thought was the best film of 2021. And if you've stuck around this long, I very much appreciate it. I got some more videos coming along the way. Mainly some things I got in the mail that I really want to discuss. And so, yeah. Yeah, regardless, what do you think of all these nominees? What do you think of the winners? Who do you hope I nominate for next year's Hannahcast Movie Awards? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of more videos, and if you want to see more, click this.